G'day everybody, and welcome to the Space Engineers Contact Update, where I'm going to hopefully add some of the new blocks to some new builds for the Scrapyard, which I can then send to TLF, and when he gets some time, he'll add them into the Scrapyard mod, because he's managing that for me, because he's very, very awesome that way, and managing a few of my mods, ACS as well. He's managing ACS and Scrapyard and doing all those things, which is delightful. My thought was I'd have a look at the DLC blocks and the new blocks that have been added and see which ones we need. Nev, being as awesome as he is, has already sent me an updated block restrictions list, but I want to check with him before I publish it to see whether he's changed it to allow drills to be built. Because I wanted to re-allow drills. But I might be able to just check that myself after the stream. But yeah, I'm going to be posting a video on my main channel of some stuff Capac and I recorded in the pre-release version of us doing a global encounter. And we recorded that because there was a little bit of misunderstanding on my end. But we will post it. I'll post that tonight on my YouTube channel so you guys can have a look at some of the stuff in there. We had a bit of a look at some of the blocks, but because we were doing it as a teaser, I didn't have a thorough look at the blocks, so it's kind of somewhere in between, but I think it was a bit of fun. We both had a lot of fun playing it, and it's a bit like it's almost like an AA an AA web special. Kind of how some TV series do web specials in the time in between their seasons. So yeah, let's load up Scrapyard. TFE needs to be a mod here? No, TFE doesn't want to be a mod. TFE's quite happy doing mod stuff for me, but not actually being a mod. We talk about this stuff. These are things we discuss. Yeah, the Christmas special came early, exactly. But yes, Keen have very kindly given me a few DLC keys to give away. So I'm going to have to figure out Nightbot once we've had a look at the blocks, and I will have 5 of those to give away, which we will sort out once I get it. Does anyone want to be a mod? Often the wrong kind of people want to be a mod, I think. And I think you'd agree with me with that, Tex. No, Boscaro, the DLC is not free. The update is free, but there are DLC decorative blocks that are not free. Okay. This save is always a bit brutal. The number of grids I've got all around the place. Most people that want to have power should be excluded from gravity. Yeah, Steve. Oh, no. Oh, man. Okay. This is going to take a little bit of... Playing non-inverted for that long has actually started to make it feel normal, but if I walk away from the computer for an hour, I'll be back to my usual. Brain hurt much. Yes. Keep looking up when I'm trying to... There's a part of me that's like, is this my time? Is this the time where I try and switch myself over? And the answer to that is a hard no. I don't wanna. I like being different. Okay, so the new blocks. There are new gates, but players can already build those in Scrapyard, so I don't need to worry about those. No new doors. Don't think there are any new passageways. Console modules. Haven't really needed to put them in any of the things. The captain's desk. Don't think that really needs to be in either. It's just pure decorative. I might use it in some of the builds, but it doesn't need to be added. The functional blocks are the ones that need to be added. So like the new cockpit, although cockpits can be built in Scrapyard, so that's not required. I'm just trying to think what needs to be added for cockpit, for Scrapyard. But what I should probably do is just look at all the new blocks. So, new block. What else is new block? I'm so glad they split these up. With the interior walls being somewhere. There. Because this block group with the truss pillars and the interior wall was getting way too big. I'm glad they've reorganized the G menu. It does mean that we have more block groups than we have hotbar items, so you can't just have things always in the same spot. But what I've kind of done is I've got a standard for 1, standard for 2, standard for 3. I'm starting to try and develop a standard for 4, and then I'll keep 5 as my variable one. Because I use a split keyboard, I can't really use easily the hotbars beyond 5 and 6. So we got the desk. What else we got? Storage shelves. Unfortunately, all of my have you used this block things are not. So we got all these bridge helms, that's right. Got this, and this, and this, and this. I do think these will be really nice for walkable large grid ships that people want to make small. These blocks. They'll be really useful for that. Because you don't need a separate cockpit block for having it airtight. Oh, they've got the transition pieces you need for all the weird edge corner stuff. Good. And the side pieces. Yeah, I think this will make... Because at the moment, prior to the contact update, we would have had to use a cockpit, like a standard cockpit, and enter through the back door of the cockpit. But if... Since we've got this now, you can actually have a chair that looks like your standard chair, and you can walk up to the block and have your interior space in a small ship that's nicely connected, which I think is going to be something that I would want to use for some of the smaller ACS cargo ships a bit more. What else we got? There's no new console modules. Got the new desk. Already looked. There's no new storage shelves. Don't think there's anything under weapon rack. Oh, there is, but in small grid. There's the little... first aid cabinet. Which I can definitely use on some of the little vehicles. There's a nice little touch. Yeah, there's the reskinned weapons. It's the first aid cabinet. What else is there? Nothing in neon, I don't think. Yeah, I think neon's all the same. Stairs and ramps are now in their own group, separate to ladders. I didn't mind these being in the same group. I quite liked it. It made some sense. That's going to reshuffle the way I do my hotbars, I think. Having them as 2 separate groups. I do like the new gates. So we have the old gate, which, you know, was a nice block addition, but having the new gate sizes for being able to do... Whoops. The thing I really like the new gates for is when you want to have a 2x1 internal door on your ship. So you don't have to use an airtight hangar door. Oh, let's get a battery on this. Oops. I really like this bit for having larger internal doors on your ships, so you can have bulkheads that aren't the full airtight hangar doors. I think that makes a nice little squarish hangar entry as well. The there is a part of me that's a little tempted to, yeah, launch tube for missiles. Ah, yes, definitely. You wish the center detail aligned? Does it align on the tall ones? It looks like it aligns better on the tall ones. There you go. Same size entry, but fully aligns on the talls. I prefer the aesthetic on the tall. Does it look any different with a different skin? Go to none. Go to whitish. Yeah. I think I prefer the talls in general. I guess it's whether you want this long emissive or not, and what can fit as well. Depending on which way you want the doors opening, because obviously these ones are opening left, right. Sorry, up, down. Oh, no. Oh! Yeah, whether you want the quad, but then if they simultaneously, it's not going to be any difference. Yeah, I do wish these aligned. I don't know why they didn't make those align. That's real weird. I am almost certainly going to be using these ones more. At least for double doors. Alright. That's interesting. Some useful info there. Do they align on the other side? I'm pretty sure they do. Because I think these ones are more simple, more simple design. Yeah. These ones just line nicely. Yes, Dumbledores. Let's have a look at this flush cockpit. I think it's going to take me a while to get used to how to use this thing. But I think this is the main advantage to it for a lot of builds. That it does allow you to have it completely aligned with your armor patterning, however you decide to do your armor. And it just sticks out that little bit. So I think a lot of people will like it for that. It's just got 2 LCDs. Please don't build a Cybertruck. No, I would not build a Cybertruck. Blech. I mean, unless I was trying to build something ugly. Then I might. We don't get any new catwalks, do we? Nope. All panels are fine. Thrusters. Unchanged. Ah, okay. We got all the wheels nicely lined up. Cryo chambers is nothing new. Binary assembler, speed modules, they are all the same. Got a bunch of new lights. That we did get. I quite like the new floodlights. I think they'll be pretty useful on a number of builds. And yeah, new lighting options are always appreciated, absolutely. the fact that we have the different angling bits so that we can make the lights now point in different directions. So when we've got a rover and we want to point the spotlights at the ground, we don't have to do weird things. Or a flyer when you want to be able to see not just what's directly beneath you or directly in front of you, but maybe beneath and in front of you. Are the lights all still frame rate monsters? Imagine they're exactly the same. How does changing the angled lights offset work? Let's find out. So let's remove a few of these. Does it get an offset? Yes, it does. It moves in the correct direction. Seems to. The offset's moving through the ground. Yeah, nice. Okay, so we got those floodlights, which again, I don't strictly need to add to the scrapyard. The thing that I need to add, there are a couple of things I do need to add, and there are a couple of things that I haven't added previously that I should probably try and get in there. If some of you can remember what they are, because I've got them rare things. I need to add the antenna to something. Put a parabolic antenna on something, and a small antenna. And probably the new round beacon as well. From the previous update. Oh, the cargo containers. That's the thing. This new modular cargo container. Which is cheaper than a large. The same price as a medium? No, it's more expensive than a medium. Let's turn daylight back on. Okay, so capacity is 10,000 versus... Okay, it's in a weird middle ground. This is an unusual choice for Keen and their DLCs, to put something in that is genuinely different. Yeah, you could make a little armored truck with these. Yeah, Tex, the Prototech stuff is 100% vanilla. It's stuff that's designed for everybody to go and collect, much like ACS has the Assert thrusters. The other decorative blocks, for the most part, are the DLC, though the flush cockpit that I showed before, that is if you sign up to the newsletter. Yeah, I think I'd probably end up using this cargo a lot. Because it does give us a very different design option, but it's going to take me a while to get used to the idea of using it. Because it is very different. And I feel like where you're going to attach things to it is going to be a very different design language to what we've been used to. Because there's no attachment points along the side here. Although... they do appear to have made some somewhat sensible decisions with angles used and matched the angles of the armor blocks, at least. So that's nice. Hey, TFE. Yeah, you could definitely add this as part of, like, a thruster thing just for style points. Having the large industrial hydrogen thruster on the back of it, make it into a little thruster nacelle, because it gives you enough to put a few blocks here to the style. Obviously something better than this. This is just what I'm throwing together at first thought. Yeah, could work quite well as a little decorative element to a thruster. Wonder how the modular thrust... yeah, I don't know where the air tightness would be on this. I have most of that stuff turned off in build info, but I think I have build info in this save. Yeah, I do. I think I can turn it on. I just don't know how. Yeah, so this is something I need to add into the scrapyard, so we'll need to make a build with that. What else we got? Let's clear this out. Right there, Charlie? What are you doing? Go on, go. Trying to destroy more of your bed. That's what you're doing, isn't it? Not too long, I'm gonna have to buy you a new one. Oh yeah, the new square piston. That's true. I do like the new square piston. I think it's great for lifts or elevators, if you're so inclined. Where are they? There they are. Got that. Barrels and stuff, and on new, same with freight. I wouldn't mind it if they padded out the freight list. Give us more options there. Then we got the new connectors, which I don't think I have any reason to specifically add in. So, the new connectors are a vanilla, not a DLC block, I think. Yeah. As they should be. But these square pistons are a DLC block. They do look nice, though. The nice part about them is when you're on top, they are pretty much fully visually occupy the block. But just like the regular piston, they don't... collision-wise, they don't. Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think about when I first looked at these. So if we get a regular piston, and we put a reinforced conveyor on it, it can look a bit weird. Doesn't look super weird because the way the piston's designed, it can kind of you can kind of visually ignore the corners, but that does look more tidy. With the piston being nice and square. Also, whole lot more detailed. Like this new model looks a lot more consistent with the current design language that Keen uses. And you fit a new head to the old piston. I reckon you probably could. Maybe? But maybe you need to use build vision to do it? You can see when this is extended, it looks a lot more consistent with the rest of the new blocks. Yeah, the square pistons are identical to the regular pistons. Same force, same distance, same everything. They're just visually different. If Keen had made them longer, I think there would have been a somewhat justified furor for giving functionally beneficial blocks as a DLC, because Keen have been very good at not doing that. Yeah, same block, new skin. Exactly. Hazard markings make it look much better. Yeah, agreed. But also just the fact that there's detail and depth on the piston part itself. Because if we compare it to the old one, which is going to collide with that if I put it where it currently is. I think this is going to be like so many things. I'm probably not going to use the vanilla ones now that I've got the DLC options. This is a much simpler design. performance-wise, the one on the right is probably a little bit better for your GPU, but eh. I've never worried about that before, so I'm not going to start worrying about it now. Oh, something else. Okay, hang on. Ignoring the blocks, there is a massive, massive thing that has been added in this update. That is like the thing I am most excited about once I find the block that I need to find it for. The sensor has toolbars. The sensor has toolbars you can do multiple actions with the sensor. You can also do fancy things like set velocity, set and move, reset velocity. And we can do that with rotors and hinges too. So people like me who cannot get their head around C# can now do complex actions on pistons and rotors without needing to do anything fancy. Because you can go, oh, I'm going to make this hinge go to this place at this velocity. So I can set different, it's amazing. This is honestly the best part of this update. Bar none. There is nothing else in this update that is better than adding all of these extra functions. Yeah, rotate to angle. There's just genuinely, this is the thing. I'm sure there'll be some limitations and things still in it, and we've got like hinge on, and a lot of these things now have separate on-off toggles. This allows us to do so much stuff without having to get into using C# scripting. You can... Someone like me could probably make a functional, if slow, walker with this. Like... This is huge. This is absolutely huge. And I'm sure we'll find ways to do it wrong, and that there will be certain limits and things like that. But yeah, this is just massive. But also, we can do this now. I'm going to do this with build vision, but it is done... Actually, we'll just do it with vanilla. So, I've removed the hinge part. So if we go to our hinge, we can add a medium head or a small head to hinges now. No more fiddling around trying to get this thing to lock in there. It just works. This is the medium head. With... me. Do this with vision. Attach. And the small head being the teeny tiny one. There you go. No more complex setup to get a ball turret made. You can make ball turrets with ease now. Because you just instantly have the hinge part connected. Like, these little things that they've done, these little changes, I think are actually the big changes. These are the things that change how we interact with the blocks in ways that make doing a lot of the stuff that we were doing anyway much, much easier. And it's magnetically hinged. It's a magnet hinge. It's fine. Just really strong magnets. You can explain everything with magnets. So yeah, sorry, that was a distraction, but that was a massive, massive change. I do like this little media player block as a decorative piece though. This isn't new too. I think I can see it being used on small grid builds to try and get various style elements in, and even just an LCD that's at an angle. Looks like one of the Factorum things did. Oh yeah, it did too. That was another thing that got added. I think we got a new... Do we have new button panels, or are they ones from previous... I think they're ones from previous updates. What else was there? Got the new turrets, which I quite like the look of. They don't suit some of my designs that I've used because of the exist. So if we compare them to their vanilla counterparts. Wait. Did we always have an assault cannon turret for small grid? Or is that new? Huh. I've just never used it. Why have I never used it? That would have been really useful on a number of things. I never noticed it before either. Yeah, I don't recall seeing this as a turret before. You had autocannons, but assault, I think, is new. It's new to me, anyway. Not new. Okay. Been around for a while. Thanks, Fluorescent Ninja. Thank you for 22 months. Yeah, so it must be old, and I've just never used it. Weird. But anyway, looking at the new turret, like the DLC turret variants, I think a lot of our builds are going to need to be adapted for these to look better than the regular ones. Because I do quite like the design. I like the style, but because these ones sit proud and are usually built in such a way that they look like they should sit proud, it's sort of different to these ones, which very much look like they should not be sitting proud. Because of the shape around here. And I'm not sure we have the necessary block shapes for that to work. Because what do we do against that edge in there? It's like the current one, you're still left with a hole there. Yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to, and ideas to notice how. Don't think this. Oops. Yeah, it has all the same ports. Oh no, it has fewer ports, sorry, than the regular one. The regular one's got ports on all sides. This one's lacking the front and back. And the rocket launcher obviously just has the large on the bottom. I do like the rocket launcher though. I think it looks cool. Looks evil. Wonder if it cycles the barrels when it fires. The large grid one does, so I assume it does. Yeah, evil robot vibe, 100%. On the GAT, doubtful. But yeah. I do like they've added some variation in the turrets, because we haven't really had any. That's the small grid, but the large grid... Superloser, is the pack a good buy? For me, yes. I didn't buy it, but it would have been a good buy for me. Because I play so much Space Engineers and I love decorating stuff. And I like not having to worry about things being mods for adding blocks. For everyone else, I'm not sure. It's kind of up to you. The DLC is always a cosmetic thing. I think I prefer the vanilla turret of the Gatling. And I think I actually prefer the vanilla rocket too, on the large grid. Yeah. Oh. Probably stick with the vanilla ones on those. Yeah, they're so much more boxy. The base is so much more prominent on these. Yeah. Oh. Cool. Yeah, the kitchen parts I think are going to be great for those small grid decorative pieces that you want to put around the place. Like if you want to make a custom kitchen rather than using the regular large grid kitchen blocks, I think that's great. Now, I've been torn on the Prototech stuff as to whether ACS should have some of the loot for these in some of the encounters. I think not. I think I might see if Gruz is keen on us creating our own ACS stuff that's sort of an in-between. Because I kind of like the idea that a cert has its own stuff that's fancy, and maybe we cover some of the different blocks. Because obviously what we got here is a very large drill. I don't think we need to have a special assert drill. And got the custom batteries, which are super, super effective. But Gruz and I had talked about making custom upgrade modules. Maybe use Prototech components to build assert stuff. No, I don't think so. It would integrate them a bit, which could be nice. Maybe for some of the stuff, maybe for the upgrade modules. Because Gruz and I had previously talked about making upgrade modules for refineries and things. Can this take upgrade modules? Can't, can it? No. What does it say its speeds and stuff are? No. 100%. That's not helpful. Oh. It can only make Prototech stuff. I see. Okay, so that, yeah, it's independent. So yeah, I think upgrade modules are probably the way to go for a cert. I'd like to make some upgrade modules that do more for refineries and more for assemblers than the regular ones do. Because I think finding upgrade modules on the assert ships would be cool. Let's give it some power. Probably should have something as a baseline to compare this to, but that does seem to be going fairly quick for Cobalt. Oh yeah, the Prototech stuff is available in other grid sizes. So you got a small grid jump drive, you got a small thruster, a refinery, fancy gyro, fancy battery. So you got jump drives and refineries available in small grid. So you got fancier small grid possibilities. Huh. Okay, I didn't check that out before. It's a 2x2x2 for the gyro. Well, let's put that on there, so I've got an interface option. And then let's check this out compared to the regular gyroscope. same power input, but I'm imagining it's at least 8 times, but probably a lot more. The batteries are double, so this is probably worth 16 gyroscopes. It's hard to enumerate the strength of gyroscopes, but just by playing around with them. It's kind of the sort of thing you have to go and look in code for. Try overrides and see how much RPM you can set. Oh yeah, see if it's different. It's the same. 30 for large grid, 60 for small. Are Prototech thrusters useful anywhere? Let's have a look at the thruster and see what its output is, because they're ion thruster replacements, I think. Whoa! Well, that was one way to explode that. I think it's got a decent amount of power. Yeah, souped up ions that work better in Atmo than regular ones. I think. But yeah, super powerful ions, regardless. Yeah, what do you guys think about the idea of me seeing if Graz is keen to help making better upgrade modules for refineries and assemblers? So I feel like they'd be a good find for a certain. They're nice and unique. And it's also something that you don't tend to get destroyed because it's at your base. So you'd be able to then replace the ones on the back of your refinery. Get more yield. Make your assembler go even faster. And it is something Prototech's not touching, so it does keep them both being relevant. Obviously, Assert thrusters are Atmo, ion, and hydrogen, so again, still some crossover, but not... They do different things. Yeah, they're meant to complement each other. And, as I've said all along, the fact that Prototech takes the exact same gameplay approach to what I did with ACS is a good thing. I wanted this. The reason I wanted this was why I made the mod in the first place, because I wanted it. Thanks, Taliesin. Thank you for the 32 months. Thank you, Citric. Thank you for the Prime sub. And NukuWeld, I'm ignoring you because you said P. I don't know that they took my idea, because I took Duckroll's idea to some extent and twisted it and conformed it into something that's more replayable. And I would prefer a world where we didn't have full ownership of these sorts of ideas. Because the world where we do is a world where Nintendo crushes all. And that's not good. Okay, so it looks like there's not a lot of stuff that needs to be added to the Scrapyard builds. The cargo container would be really good. Can you guys remember what else I needed to add? It's the cargo container, because the desk you can just build, so we don't need that. The bridge helms you can just build, you don't need that. The med bay thing, don't need it. Gates, also don't need it. Cockpits, don't need it. Lights. Scrapyard doesn't block you from building any particular lights. Need the antenna and the beacons, because I don't have the old ones either. And the cargo container. Yeah. Thanks, Scoops. Thank you for the Prime sub. The inset connectors are also buildable in Scrapyard. I'm just thinking specifically Scrapyard restrictions as I have them at the moment. Because I'm not... Anything that does the same as current blocks that are allowed, I'm going to allow. Oh yeah. Are the beds, because we got the small grid bed. Which bed is... Do I get to small grid version of these blocks? Do I actually... Oh, I think I may have found an issue. He's under bunk, is it? No. Bed does not allow you to change the small grid. Half bed does not allow you to change the small grid. Half bed open does not allow you to change the small grid. Inset bed does not allow you to change the small grid. You cannot change to small grid. Huh. That's... should be fixed, I think. This bunk should probably be matched with one of these other blocks so that you don't have to have both separate blocks on your hopper. Because otherwise, what's the point in having this in the group? I think that needs to change. Yeah, you can't have them both. What? Yeah, that's broken. That needs fix. I think this needs an overall behavior change, to be honest. Where if you've got something that can't be built in small grid, when you switch, like either maybe if you only use the R key command, so maybe change the behavior so that tapping the same hotbar number might not change it if there's nothing available, but pressing R to change scale does. Because we should be able to... Nope. It's not changing it with the small grid looking at it. Yeah. Yeah, that needs fixing. That's not good. Okay. What else we got going on? So the bed can be built by people in Scrapyard anyway. This isn't something that I've got blocked, so you can build the small grid beds if you want them. I don't think there's any reason to block players from building a bed. Because the DLC blocks will get added if they're needed for a build. I don't put all the DLC blocks in various bits of scrap, because if you got the DLC, you can just build them. So there's no reason for me to push for that. It's the blocks that I've restricted in Scrapyard that I'm trying to make sure are in a build somewhere. Yes, it is a sideways view from the bed. If I go to Spectator, I should be able to show you how you're lying. Yeah. You side lie and you take off your backpack. It does, however, look like the bed is so short that the engineer would not be able to straighten their legs out properly. They'd have to push their heels against the bottom of the bed. Ooh. I'm curious about something. Oh yeah. Helmet does open. Alright. So we got antenna, beacon, the cargo container. Can anyone come up with anything else? I think that's it. I think that's all the scrapyard needs. So we just got to do a build with the new cargo container, which is fun. Relays. Oh yeah, you're right. I haven't got relays in any builds yet, do I? Are there any other things from from the previous update that I haven't included? Because yeah, it was action relays, broadcast controllers. Signal, yeah, signal update. Decoys are buildable in Scrapyard, so that doesn't matter. Cross lights and all those are buildable. Yeah. I think relays, antennas, and cargo containers, and the broadcast controller. Cool. I'll be back in just a sec. Need to take a quick fire break, and then we'll get to building something with these. I am back. So, clean up this stuff. Don't want it hanging around. Getting in the way. Oh, the other thing I want to add. I want a large grid build that has a survival kit. I want there to be a large grid survival kit you can find in Scrapyard. So it's not all just the small ones. Get rid of all this stuff. Oh, I should have done that as a delete whole grid thing. Oh well. Just trying to clean up as much of the rubbish around here as I can before I start building, since I've got so many grids in this world. Alright. That's pretty much it. Okay, so, from the cargo container perspective, are there some grids that might look alright with the new modular one? What has more grids, this or the launch site? This. But it doesn't have any gigantic grids, so I think performance is better with this. Let's go to the full builds. I think I can use as a basis for this. I feel like it could work well on the little... this little truck. It almost fits perfectly in the back. Like, look at that. That might be one to start with. Oh, the carrier helicopter? Yeah, absolutely. Yep, we'll grab one of them. Cargo lifter here. Could definitely have one. Everyone loves finding a helicopter, so why not? Train car? Maybe. Maybe. I think it might be the wrong scale for the train car. I think... Oh, do I want even more variety of flatliner? Maybe not. Maybe I need to make a trailer for these guys. So they can spawn with something with them. Think about how that's going to work, because that might need a whole new spawn group setup, which isn't ideal. Or a separate behavior specifically for this grid. When it spawns, it then spawns a trailer nearby. Oh, actually, I should go to the base one. One that's not all destroyed. Which is somewhere around here. Hey, here it is. Yes. Optimus Prime. There we go. I don't know why this helicopter's here, so I'm going to get rid of it. Thinking I accidentally destroyed stuff there at some point. What else could we use? I do plan on building something from scratch as well. I'm just grabbing the builds that we might be able to utilize first. These ones felt a bit too wide-bodied for what I wanted to do. I do want to incorporate some other things that are here, though. Over time. Anything else around here that might look okay? Obviously, it'd be a flatbed rail car if we're going to put the cargo on it, so let's grab one of these and we can see if it works. The shipping containers are all large grids, so I wouldn't be able to put the modular container in there. In fact, modular container is just small grid, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't like the idea of giving players two of them in a, like, immediately together, but it doesn't look too bad. Looks more like a security car. I like more secure transport sort of thing. Oh, right. Yeah, the paint gun. I'd still like to fix how the paint gun works in Scrapyard, so that the paint gun is easier to access so you can just make them. Thanks, BMA. Thank you for the 100 bits. One cargo and some barrels. Yeah, that could work. Haven't really put barrels on much of the train. So Scrapyard does have assemblers. You have to find them, but they do exist. They don't build as much as they normally do. Some of the stuff is deliberately blocked out from assemblers, but the survival kit can make a few things intentionally so that you are able to do some stuff that is beneficial without being powerful. Okay, so that's the small grid, couple of things. The parabolic antenna is small grid as well, so I could put it... Oh, there is an obvious build to get a parabolic antenna. Hello. Wait, I should get the scrapped one. Should probably just replace it, to be honest. And just actually use the parabolic antenna on this now. Okay. How easy is this? Or how... oh yeah, it should be... no problem. Just literally for this one, I think it's a case of this. I think this should be a variant rather than a straight up replacement. What do the build states look like? Oh yeah. It's more like it. Hey, Kitamaru. I mean, for me, new blocks in Space Engineers is always interesting. And thanks, Will. So, that's always going to be interesting. New things to play with, new things to design with. I'm thinking what we might do... Catback and I were talking about looking at some PAX-related stuff tomorrow. Before he does his painting stream. Assuming he still wants to do his painting stream. So I might see if he wants to check out some of the new blocks together as the start of his stream as well. Because he often has some cool ideas about different ways to use blocks that are beyond what some of us might think. Would look good in that state on the front of a car. I was thinking more it might look decent in that state here. Kabak sometimes thinks outside the block. Yes, he does. See how it kind of completes the hitching mechanism? The wrecks are all 100% hand done. For the planet stuff, for the space stuff, there is a mixture of hand done by TFE with a rocket launcher and procedural. But yeah, if I wanted to make antennas very easy to find, I could put them on the trains like that. I'll have to think about that. As to whether that's something I want to do. Now, I think there are a couple of helicopters that would work well with the antenna relay, but let's mess with the cargo container first. Because maybe we could put... let's turn off. What I was thinking was, these little bulges here would work quite nicely for the action relays. And while I'm happy with players not being able to build action relays, I kind of like the idea of making them easy enough to find that you're not stressing on them too bad. You just have to find them first. Yeah, I reckon if these were available when Ufold built this helicopter, he probably would have used those. And if Ufal's still in chat, he can tell me how right or wrong I am on that thought. Possibly, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna do this a bit differently. I'm going to hollow this thing out. Although Ufol was very good with these builds at making sure that they didn't have too many of the blocks that I was trying to restrict. Which is a big part of why it was so easy to just add these all in, and that's why all of his helicopters and planes made it in. So they were very quick, cool additions. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of the half open. And let's see, how does this look with the thing in the middle? Oh, dimensions-wise, it's almost perfect, but not quite. I can probably... those are anchors. I'm going to try this as an option. Oh, wait, where's the pillar now? Oh, the pillar's on the truss block. Let's turn symmetry back on. I'm going to move those to there. So I can shorten this by a block. What do you mean, a world crafting tutorial, Kenmaru? Oh, let's level permissions, damage off. How do you turn symmetry on again? So you press N, N for number. N for numbskull. While holding a block in hand, press N, and you can enable and disable it. And then you press M for meat shield to adjust where the planes are. Once the plane is at the position you want it, you can left click it, and then that plane will apply and can be used as a plane of symmetry. Oh man, I love Nev's block picker. He's so handy for creative building. Okay, and we'll take out that. So there we go, now that's the right dimensions, and we just need to put the little piece in for the anchor, the actual connection. Oh wait, no, those are not those. I've used the wrong block. There we go. No, it deletes both parts in symmetry mode unless you've detached the part on the other side. In which case it can't, because the part is a separate grid now. That's kind of an understandable thing. Yes. Does anyone happen to have Nev's workshop handy as a link? LC, maybe? Because you're often first on these things. But yeah, Nev has a mod that allows you to look at a block with a block in hand and press Ctrl G, and it will switch to that block. Sometimes. There we go. Oh, Kitamaru's got it. Awesome. There we go. I suppose a med kit, I think one or more of these helicopters has a thing, but the med kits don't have anything special to them, so I'm not too fussed about them. But this could work. I think for this though, if you're getting a fancy container like this, you got to at least have the computers to build it. Yeah, sadly didn't have that one, Elsie. Oh. That's alright, I'll forgive you. Do these have any special components in them? Radio communication, not really. They look better without the emissives on them, I think, in this case. So we'll lose the emissives. Make it so you have to find some antennas to rebuild them. Is the cockpit a limited time? I would very much doubt that. I've not seen anything to absolutely say that it's not, but I would be extremely doubtful if there is a limited time thing for getting the cockpit. I would personally be very unhappy with Keen if they did that. Because that's real mean, having a block that only people who played the game at a certain point could have. Because what about all the new people who find out about Space Engineers in 6 months from now? Yeah, that would not be cool. That would not be cool, man. Okay. So that's the parabolic antenna in small grid. I'm not really worried about the large grid versions of these, though I might create a large grid compact antenna somewhere. In fact, I've got the perfect build for them that I was sent. These guys. Which are a nice little standalone scrap thing, so I think we could play around with these a bit. And yes, using the CAT scanners, or the scanner tables, as antenna things is a really cool idea. Wait, did they do that? What were the 10-year anniversary cosmetics? Oh, the suits. Oh, right. Yeah, no. They've done it with suits before. They did it with the ghost suit. Capac's always had the ghost suit, and I think I've only recently gotten access to it. But yeah, I missed out on the ghost suit because I don't know why I didn't buy it at the time. There was a reason, but yeah, I missed out on it. Yeah, these things would be good for including a lot of the antenna blocks on. We've got... In fact, I think they have all of the original ones. We've got a laser antenna, an ore detector, an old school beacon, an oxygen farm. That works. Oh, and this has the round beacon. Okay, yeah, I should definitely get these included. Yeah, I'm not a fan of artificial scarcity for digital products, i.e. time-limited purchase things for digital products. It's just, Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Let's grab another lot of these and start messing with them. See what else we can put on them. Also, I should probably check what blocks are actually on this grid, in case there are some that I don't want on there. Got a bunch of connectors, corner lights, decoys, laser antenna, medical stations. No, it's nothing there that's harmful. Cool. Thanks, Black Lemming. Thank you for the 2 months. Alright. Yeah. I'm getting distracted. I'm getting distracted. It was... I was meaning to build something from scratch, but I don't think that's going to happen now. So let's keep going with what I'm doing. So, compact antenna. Round beacons there. Let's take it out of this one. Which means we're going to need some sort of block. I think broadcast controller should allow this to attach. Not the neatest attachment, but it does kind of work to have the two of them together. Yeah, so the PCU changes, as I understand it, they recalculated a few blocks. It's not that they just arbitrarily changed it, they actually recalculated it to see, and found that some blocks used less performance time than they had originally thought, so could now be reduced in PCU count as a result. Which is a good thing. Huh. Wait, is this new? This little corner here? Is that new? I think that got added. Yeah. It's funny. A couple of years ago, I would have had no idea. I would have been able to easily go, yep, this is new, 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 and find it all so quickly. There are so many more blocks now, it's so easy to not know. Oops, I don't want that way around. It's to rotate inward. Yeah, there might have been optimizations that benefit certain blocks as well. Yeah, true. I mean, I don't play with PCU basically ever, and even when I did on the Keen server, I still didn't actually run into any problems with it until the very end. So it's not something I usually run into, but it is nice for people playing on console or non-Steam versions to be able to do a bit more. Make these a little more variable so they don't all have exactly the same height. I think would be good. Let's get the truss light. Put on some of them as well. Oops, missed. Bye. Yeah. These to me look like those massive radio towers that I think were built during the Cold War to try and detect things that are now completely not used. I think I think if TFV's okay with this, we could create a whole new spawn group just for these that can be added in. So, or maybe they could spawn alongside the power towers. Oh, Kinemaru, why? Why you do that to me? I wonder if some of these blocks that are on here are things I could replace. Oh, these aren't even all the same type of thing. Because this one had ladders. Oh no. Alright, so we've got those 5, which are the original submissions. These decoys have any fancy stuff in them? These don't have any fancy stuff. No, the medical components are taken out. Oh, yeah, I'll leave one. I think I might get rid of these wheels, though. They don't really work, to my mind. I might replace them with a parabolic antenna or 2. Maybe kill a ladder or 2 for spaces, yeah. I might also split these now, because I'm working on them, so that we'll be able to make some of them wider. This one wider. It's going to need a bit more room around it to fit those parabolics on it. So I've got an action relay at least somewhere. Parabolic antenna. Ground beacons come with these, and we've got the modular cargo container on the helicopter. Oh, I'm going to do the modular cargo container on here before I do these ones, actually. Let's grab the wrecked one. It's a bit easier to create an extra variant from the one that's already wrecked. Maybe this one. Broadcast controller. Yeah, so I put one broadcast controller so far in one of the towers, but yes, I should find a place to put them in small grid too. What do I need to clear up? I probably need to go... Whoops. Get rid of the seats, because they're occupying too much space. And this block here, I think, is the last one that's in the way. Yeah, nice. Scale-wise, that just fits so neatly. Feels like it should be dropped one so the connector's in line. Nah. I think if I was going to do anything, I'd lift the connector. So I think from the side, having it up at that height really works. Alright, collectors are no longer the connector block. All my hotbars are going to be busted. That's going to be really a thing to fix. I don't think an inset connector is the right connector for this, because I think it makes it too bulky. I think the old school connector is the right connector. I'm going to do something else with this one as well, which is actually split this in half. Then rejoin it. If I can. Probably need to get rid of this off the ground. Yeah, there we go. That works. Weren't these some of the early attempts at improving early radar? I think they might have been. It's been a long while since I watched anything that was informing about these things. These towers. There we go. Yeah, don't worry, the remote control and the battery are things I will do when I actually make this into proper spawns. Oh, actually, I'll grab it now, because you're right, I might forget it. Let's pop this in here. Yeah. I think having the parabolics on there kind of works. Don't think I'll add any compacts. I think maybe I'll just leave that one like it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is an ore detector at the top. It is, yes. Which is nice. One of the things I really liked about these towers is they are the Space Engineer's equivalent of Lego nice part usage. Which is cool. I think. Beer Seeker, no, I don't want to add Prototech blocks to Scrapyard. Order ACS. Yeah, I guess it's a kit bashing type thing as well. But feels less kit bashy because you've got individual blocks that you can have as many as you like, whereas kit bashing, I don't know. Kit bashing to me feels like taking two builds and combining their elements rather than the individual blocks. No. Serenity, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about having the encounters exist. I'm pretty sure Beer Seeker was asking, am I going to add Prototech blocks so you can find them in the scrapyard? And no, I'm not going to. Thanks, Blazer. Thank you for the Prime sub. No, I've had some blammo. I blew up a whole Prototech thruster earlier. Montuska, I think the vanilla stuff that's been added would probably be a good... I think for some people it would be enough NPC content. But for many, they'll still want to have the stuff from MES mods as well. But for some it'll be enough. And yes, MES and Space, like, Keen did manage to get it so MES is not broken with this update, which would have been... It would not have been a good look to break MES with the NPC update. So I suspect they put a bit of effort in to make sure that wasn't the case. Okay, that's the one that I've added the extra block to. isn't in any of these ones. Because I haven't touched the other ones yet. Cool. Is anyone officially maintaining MES at this time? Yes. Captain Arthur, although a certain person did pop out of retirement to do some help with the MES update. Oh, I did do the one with the trusses too, didn't I? Huh. Apparently I detached that block. That's why I have a test thing that says, have I checked to see if I've broken anything? How did I do that? How was that attached before? Huh. Ooh, the floodlights could be good on these. If we lose some of these guys, can I get the floodlight to attach? Yeah. Floodlights will be a nice addition. I think I'm actually going to wrap up the stream here for today. A bit earlier than I would have normally, but I've got a few things I need to do today for my uni stuff. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more stuff with Capac. I'm going to start off solo playing some of the things that I found at PAX, a few more demos, probably drop in and do a bit more Space Engineers building stuff until Capac shows up, and then join him for testing out some other demos and bits. Because there was a cooperative one that I think already has co-op in it. So we're going to look at all that stuff. And then on Friday, things will be back to normal with the usual schedule. Friday being some more Stationeers. Sunday, I think the DLC for Factorio is out. So Shadow's going to be playing that, which means I might play it too, but solo. Or is it next week? Factorio's on Monday. Oh, so yeah, Shadow and I will be back with some more Stationeers on the brutal start. Before she disappears into a Factorio hole. And then on Monday, we'll have to see. I will let you know on Friday what Monday is going to be. So there's all that. And keep an eye on the YouTube channel. Wait, before I do my proper outro. Keep an eye on the YouTube channel because there's going to be a video out tonight, which is Capac and I doing one of the encounters. And I'm going to do some additional edits to that video to make it make more sense since it was recorded pre-release. But yeah, there's all that and plenty more to come. And I will see you then. Is